All right, it's time to start living my life 1/4 mile at a time. Okay, here we go. All right, good. All right, yeah. All right, here we go. How did I just stall out an automatic car? And I think it just broke my arm. Hey everybody, welcome back to Drinks and a Movie. Chris Hamker back with you. Today we'll be talking about The Fate of the Furious. And just real quick as a side note before we make the drink, is it just me or did they really drop the ball when they called this thing Fate, F-A-T-E of the Furious and not Fate as in F and the letter or the number 8? I mean, come on guys, Fate. Fate, 8 movie, it doesn't matter. All right, so let's start with the drink as usual. The drink I'm making for this movie is called the Diesel Fuel. Diesel Fuel, Fate of the Furious, Vin Diesel. So here we go. Diesel Fuel is really simple. It's just a 1-to-1 shot. So Diesel Fuel shot is dark rum, and I'm using Kraken for this one, and Jägermeister. So yum. All right, so let's do this. So Fate of the Furious is directed this time by F. Gary Gray, who's an actually pretty good director. He kind of does all kinds of movies. So this one's directed by F. Gary Gray and is written by, well, who cares who it's written by? The stunt coordinator is Gil Allen, and he's really the star of this movie. And, you know, while I make this drink, I'll let you guys look at all the stunt guys that were in this movie. See what I mean? Yep, you got it. It is still going. Okay, so shake this up in a shaker with glass with ice, and then serve into a shot glass as your Diesel Fuel shot. Let's try this out. Here is to the Fate, F8, of the Furious and the Diesel Fuel shot. Cheers, everybody. Oh, Jaeger, why do you hate me? So like I said before, this is the 8th outing in this Fast and Furious franchise, and they show no signs of slowing down. This film once again reunites Vin Diesel, Dwayne Johnson, and Jason Statham in a 2-hour and 15-minute romp of a good time. This time Toretto, played again as grumbly as ever by Vin Diesel, is pitted against the family by a bad guy? Charlize Theron to do something. Look, it doesn't matter what she's making him do. It matters that he's there to fuel the next gigantic action sequence. Now, normally a description like that would really bother me, but for some reason it really works in this movie. These movies have become known for one-upping themselves every time with these gigantic, ridiculous, and over-the-top action sequences. Honestly, it reminded me a lot of the 90s James Bond films, or even a little bit of the late 80s ones with like Pierce Brosnan, except with infinitely better special effects. Now, the reason why this over-the-top action doesn't bother me is because the action sequences are so creative and the characters and the actors are so charismatic that I just have a good time seeing them drive their way through these movies. Except for a couple of the actors. Tyrese. Look, Tyrese is kind of the better looking version of Kevin Hart. It's just a lot of screaming and mugging for the camera, and honestly it gets old really quick, especially in this movie. So these movies are truly all about the action, and this one delivers in spades. There is a sequence in the middle of the movie that you kind of see a little bit of in the trailer where Charlize Theron's character is hacking all these cars and forcing them to drive after the heroes, and it's just this sea of cars going through the streets of New York, and it is truly an impressive scene. The special effects, there's a lot of computer effects in this, but the computer effects have gotten to the point where a machine is pretty much photorealistic, and that scene just really blew my mind. It is truly worth the price of admission just for that scene alone. I mean, it's just fantastic. This thing just takes everything to the next level, and for some reason in this movie it just works. It all just works. All the ridiculousness, the cartoony aspect of it, the fact that these guys have essentially become superheroes, it all just kind of works, and it for some reason doesn't bother me when, I mean, I guess it should, but it's just a lot of dumb, loud fun. Honestly, I think this is my second favorite of the series. I mean, it's second or third. Fast 5 is definitely my favorite, and the reason why it's my favorite is because it's just a tighter story, and the team or the family has things to do in Fast 5. It's a heist movie, and it's a lot of fun as well, and that movie is the point where they start to, you know, raise it up to this kind of silly action, over-the-top style. But like I said, the reason why I liked it is that everybody seemed to have a role, and they filled their role well. In this one, nobody really had a role. They just were kind of there because they had to be. You know, I mentioned Tyrese not having any point. The girl from Game of Thrones, the black girl that they introduced in the last movie, is the hacker, and she doesn't really have a point either. She's just there to kind of ride shotgun and sort of do some hacking, but that's Ludacris's job, and I don't know. Nobody really seemed to have a cohesive point to be there except just to fill out the team. Scott Eastwood's there, and it seems like Hollywood's trying to make Scott Eastwood a thing, just like they tried to do with Sam Worthington or Jai Courtney, and so I don't know, he's not great in it, but at least there's Kurt Russell there too. I mean, this guy could just read the phone book and it'd be, you know, just overflowing with charisma. That kind of brings me to a couple of my negatives though of this movie, which is, yeah, the team dynamic isn't there anymore, and I mentioned that. Second, they totally wasted Charlize Theron as a good villain. I mean, you have somebody that was in Mad Max Fury Road, she was Furiosa, and they never put her behind the wheel of a car. What? Why would you do that? I mean, she's essentially there to you know, sit in front of the camera and kind of just glare at everybody. Even when she's kissing Vin Diesel, she's glaring at everybody. She just glares, just glares. Otherwise, she's sitting behind a computer screen with a headset on, barking orders at people. Although, every once in a while, she does pace around and bark orders at people into a headset. Look, she's just a bland villain, and, you know, I thought they could have done much better with an actress like Charlize Theron. Look, I don't have much more to say about this movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's just a fun, dumb action movie, and yeah, it's well worth the price of admission. It is definitely a theater movie. So, I think I'm going to give this movie a 4 drinks out of 5, despite myself. I mean, I know I shouldn't. I know I should, you know, as a film lover, hate this movie, but I don't. They know what they are, and they do it really well. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Let me know what your favorite Fast and Furious movie is. Again, -5. So, yeah, let me know what that is. Thanks, everybody. Have a drink on me. Cheers.